My name is Joanne, and welcome to the One to Another podcast. Today, we're going to talk about why it is important to work on your grief. You know, I have discovered that grief is in all of our lives most of the time. We just don't deal with it, or we don't want to deal with it. So here we are in a new year, and I just want to wish you a happy new year, and that maybe it's time for you to take a look at why it's important to work on your grief. There's 4 goals that I've discovered in working on grief. A goal of grieving is to find ways to accept and accommodate the reality of being forever changed by loss. A goal of grieving is not to return to normal, but to create a new normal, a new way to live. A goal of grieving is to weave the loss into the fabric of your life. And I have discovered that you don't have to let go of memories, but you sure have to let go of pain. Because we can't hold the pain in our heart forever. We have to learn how to let go of it and make some new parts of our life in a new way. Make some new goals, make some new places to step into this year. I believe that grief is ultimately a spiritual journey. Now, I see that spiritual journey with God. You may not see it that way, but I believe you can do your journey, and I think you have to kind of look at how we rethink our life and our belief system, our values, our purpose, and the meaning that we have in life. We are cast into the darkness of sorrow's wilderness, and we cling to any light and hope that we can get. This is spirituality, and is often the hardest part of grief work. And so one of the things that I say to myself as I have worked through grief, I'm still working through some, this is what I say: I am alive. I will survive. I am healing. I am gentle with myself. My heart is slowly mending. I have the courage to grow in this new year. I am grateful for so much. I am thankful that many times I'm thankful that strangers are merely friends we haven't met yet. And we need to meet people in either support groups or grief classes and find people who have a common goal to work through the pain. And so that's why I believe it's important to work on your grief. First of all, I believe you need to create a life through a new normal. And so if you're going to learn about new normal, how do you begin? Well, the first way you begin is you find a support group and you get involved. I suggest you go to 3 grief support group meetings before you make a decision. Am I going to stay, or am I going to go looking for another one? And then I believe you have to develop a set of skills to help with the sad and negative and tough emotions. Now, I do this year. I have a support group that meets twice a month in the Oregon City Senior Center, and it's free, and it helps people work through their pain. Plus, I teach grief classes, and I'll be teaching 2 grief classes in January, one in Tualatin at the Lutheran Church and one at Rolling Hills in the evening. So there's places that you can go and you can find help. I think we have to develop a set of skills, and these skills are learned when you're with other people. You learn what they're doing. You learn what you're doing. You might learn something new from the teacher, but we need each other to grow. I also believe that well-known factors relating to loss, trauma, and adversity have to do with relationship problems, substance use, financial struggles, health issues, sudden crisis, maybe the death of a loved one or going through a divorce. These are problems and challenges that we have, and all of these can cause us to say, I need help. I've got to develop some new skills. And I believe there's reasons to work through your grief. Number 1, I'm not ready to die yet. Doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are, you need to say to yourself, I'm not ready to die yet. I really need to learn these skills. I need to learn what to do. And I believe that living and loving is not impossible if I'm gone. So we need to be here. Someday I'll be in a place where maybe I can educate, be an advocate, and offer hope to others. I believe that as we walk through the grieving process and the healing begins to happen to us, we'll find ourselves meeting with someone else who has loss, and we get to hold their heart in our hand because we know something about grief and we can reach out and help someone else. I also believe it's okay to ask for help. There's lots of places where I do not have understanding, and I ask people for help. And I think we should learn to say to others, I need your help. Maybe it's just needing someone to go for a walk with you, or maybe it's someone that can help you find someone who can help you with your taxes. Or maybe you're like I am and I need help understanding this whole technical world. So it's okay to ask for help. And I think we need to give a second chance at life. I also want to honor the people who died. I want them to know that I'm going to keep on living, and I'm going to honor them in different ways as I make good decisions and as I move forward in my life. I want to honor them. My late husband has been gone many, many years, but I honor him every time I think of some of the things that we did together and some of the things that he taught me. I honor his life because I choose to take one or two steps forward. I also believe that to become a trusted friend in a complicated world. Our world today tends to tell us to isolate. And I believe that the reason that we walk through the grief is because we make new friends. And we'll make friends in the grief class or in a support group or at church or wherever we go. If you're willing to just step out of our lives just a little bit, you know what? We can become a trusted friend to someone else in this complicated world. I know that Queen Elizabeth II said, "It is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change." Well, you know what, Queen Elizabeth, you're right. It takes small steps. Going to a support group, reading a good book on grief, going to someone and saying, I just need you to help me. Step by step, moment by moment, we can take some steps and we can make some changes. Change is inevitable, but I believe that it's hard to understand and know that we need to put some shoe leather on some of the changes. Mike Tyson wrote something which I thought was real interesting. He said, discipline is doing what you hate to do, but nonetheless doing it like you love it. I'm going to say that again. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but nonetheless doing it like you love it. So, why is it important to work on your grief? Because that hole that's in your heart aches and hurts, and you think it'll never stop hurting. And so maybe we have to discipline ourselves to say, I will do this work. I will choose to have healing this year. I will work on what I need to work on because I need to move to new normal. So wherever you are in this year, I'm hoping that you will decide to make a decision to take the time to do some grief work. Because I know if you do it, it is going to be a tribute to the person that you've lost. And I believe it's going to help you have a lot more peace in your heart this year. Well, today I hope you'll take some steps towards healing. Remember, Grief classes are available, and so are support groups.